Welcome, crypto curious and enthusiasts alike. I'm your host, Blockchain Bill, and here we decode the mysteries of the crypto universe in simple, easy language that even your grandmother can understand. Today's topic: Bitcoin. The digital gold that is taking the world by storm. But what is it exactly, and where did it come from? Well, to answer those questions, we've got to go all the way back to the great financial crisis of 2008. Do you remember when the banks were failing and the government came in and bailed them out? Well, this was the catalyst that triggered the idea for Bitcoin. Now that we know why Bitcoin was created, let's address the elephant in the room. Who created Bitcoin? Well, it's a mystery. A pseudo-anonymous person or group called Satoshi Nakamoto is credited for creating Bitcoin. It's kind of like the Da Vinci Code of the digital world. And we have clues, but the true identity remains hidden. Now, maybe Satoshi is just a really good poker player, or maybe he's the runner-up to the greatest hide-and-seek champion the world has ever known. What is Bitcoin? In the simplest of terms, it's a mathematical code wrapped in cryptography. Now, I know that sounds complicated, so think of it like this. Imagine a world where money isn't controlled by banks or governments, but by the people. That is the essence of Bitcoin. It's a decentralized digital currency that operates on a technology called the blockchain. Now, I'll discuss blockchain technology in my next video, but for now, think of it as a digital ledger that records every transaction ever made with Bitcoin. It's kind of like having a public diary for money. But Bill, you say, I don't need or want a digital currency. I like having money that I can touch. Well, I hate to break it to you, but your money's already digital. Your paycheck is direct deposited to your bank account. You pay for goods and services with your ATM or your credit card. And most people in the United States only carry a few dollars on them in cash at any given time, or none at all. Now consider this scenario to further my point. It's the end of the bull run, and you've cashed out a large sum of money from your crypto profits, and you're converting it back into fiat. Now you go to the bank and you try to withdraw $100,000 in cash. The bank is going to ask you to come back in a few days, or possibly even a week later, because they just don't store that much cash. So you come back a week later to pick up your cash, and guess what? You're met by a federal agent from the IRS asking you why you need to withdraw $100,000 in cash. So, with Bitcoin, no more sneaky bankers or government officials trying to pull a fast one on you. It's we the people taking back control of our money. Now, let's look at where Bitcoin comes from. It's like mining, but without a pickaxe in the dirt. Instead, we have powerful computers solving complex mathematical equations, and in return, they're rewarded with new Bitcoin. It's like a digital treasure hunt. I mean, who needs gold when you can mine Bitcoins from the comfort of your pajamas, right? Now, Bitcoin was originally designed to be a digital currency. However, its properties tend to align more with gold than a currency. So, as such, you'll often hear it referred to as the digital gold. Now, Bitcoin does all the things that gold does, but it does them better and more efficiently. There are four major properties of gold. 1, it's valuable. 2, it's divisible. 3, it's transferable. And 4, it's storable. So let's real quick break down each of those. Valuable. Gold is valuable because there's not a lot of it in the world. It's hard to find and it's expensive to mine. Now, as scarce as gold is, we're still finding it every single day. In fact, one of the largest gold deposits ever was recently found in Russia. Now, Bitcoin is valuable because there is a finite amount of it. There is only going to be 21 million Bitcoin ever in existence, and currently, as of the making of this video, there's about 19.5 million Bitcoin currently out there. The final Bitcoin will be mined around the year 2140. Now, ask yourself this question. Which seems more valuable? An asset that we're finding more of every day, or an asset that has a set amount and cannot be changed. Divisible. Gold is divisible, but it's extremely difficult to do so. If you had a gold bar and you wanted to sell some of it, you could chip or cut some of it off, or melt it down and pour it into smaller amounts. Now, in any case, this is not a very efficient way to divide your asset. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is divisible by up to 8 decimal points, or 1/1,000,000th of a Bitcoin. You can literally divide your Bitcoin with a click of a button. That's how easy it is. Better? I certainly think so. Transferable. Gold is definitely transferable. If you want to sell or trade something for your gold, you can do this face to face with relative ease. But put distance between you and the buyer and it becomes much more difficult. Let's say you're in Iowa and your buyer is in Tokyo. The time and expense to complete this transaction increases dramatically. Now, with Bitcoin, the same scenario takes place, and with the click of a button and in just seconds, the transaction is complete. Bitcoin for the win on that one for sure. Storable. So you have a large amount of gold. Where do you keep it? Keeping it in your house is risky, especially if people find out about it. Storing it in a bank costs money every month, and it's not very convenient when you need access to it. Burying it in the desert? Well, that didn't work out too well for Walter White, and he was a genius. So, in general, gold is storable, but to store it safely, it comes at a cost and inconvenience. Bitcoin can be stored and encrypted safely in cold storage, which we'll talk about in another video, for just fractions of a penny as compared to how much Bitcoin you have. And again, if you want to move your Bitcoin in and out of storage, it's done with a simple click of a mouse or touch of a screen. So, as you can see, Bitcoin does all the things that gold can do, it just does them better. At this point, you're thinking to yourself, I'm interested in dipping my toes into the crypto pool, but how do I buy Bitcoin? Well, that is done on a crypto exchange. Now think of these exchanges as a Charles Schwab, Fidelity, or an E-Trade, but instead of buying stocks, you're buying crypto. Now these exchanges are your on and off ramps for turning fiat money into crypto and crypto back into fiat money. There are currently almost 1,000 exchanges out there, so please be careful when choosing one. Do your research and finding a reputable one that you feel comfortable dealing with. Now, as a beginner who's just getting started, I would recommend an American exchange first. This might help you feel a little more at ease when exchanging your dollars for cryptocurrency. Now, once you've purchased your first Bitcoin, hang on. It's going to be a wild and crazy ride. Bitcoin is a very volatile asset, and it's not uncommon for it to fluctuate 30% up or down in just a day or two. Now, there's a term crypto-savvy investors use, and it's called HODL, or hodling. And it means that you don't sell your crypto when the price is pumping or dumping. You're holding on for dear life. Feel free to use that one to impress your friends at your next cocktail party. The future of Bitcoin is brighter than ever. Mass adoption is starting to take place, and hedge funds like BlackRock and Grayscale are buying up Bitcoin like they're only going to make 21 million of them. Corporations are buying Bitcoin, and companies are starting to accept Bitcoin as a form of payment. Even cities are embracing Bitcoin. The city of Miami allows you to pay your tickets and your property taxes in Bitcoin, and they also pay their employees a portion of their salaries in Bitcoin if they so choose. Countries are starting to convert their currency to Bitcoin because their inflation is out of control. El Salvador and Central African Republic are just two examples of this. Bitcoin is solving real-world problems for those who don't have access to banking and those who want a currency that doesn't inflate. There's a fast-growing community in Cuba right now that is using Bitcoin because the Cuban peso is essentially worthless. These are the basics of Bitcoin. I've certainly enjoyed teaching them to you. If you want to learn more about cryptocurrency, Check out my other videos, and please like, subscribe, and share this video so that others can benefit from it as well. Until next time, be kind and rewind.